Can you guys hear me? Tell me in the chat box, please. Okay. Hello. Hi guys. Wonderful. Hello. Hi guys. I hope all of you are doing great, fantastic. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Glad to see so many of you here today. Yes. Good afternoon, Madhuri. We have okay. Madhuri. Okay. Ankit. Hi, Ankit. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fantastic. How are you guys doing? Tell me in the chat box. How are you guys doing? Are you guys doing superb, amazing, rocking, fantabulous, mind blowing? Tell me in the chat box. Oh, we have this ID bad boy, okay? Then hi Komal. I'm fine, I'm fine. I hope all of you are doing great and fantastic. Chalo, theek hai. Good afternoon, all of you. Thank you for those flowers, Ankit. Hi Prachi. Great, great, great. So enjoying monsoon. You guys like rainy season. Most of us like rainy season. Okay, chalo, theek hai. A warm welcome to all of you to this wonderful online learning platform of Vedantu, where we learn everything live and it's all online. So we are learning everything. Of course, it's all live, like the way it is now, and it's all online. Yeah, that's what Vedantu platform is known for. So, what is that we are going to learn today? We are going to see how is that we can write a perfect letter. So we will discuss both a formal letter and informal letter, and we'll try to see if we can discuss an example of at least a formal letter. Okay, so that's what we are going to discuss. Are you guys ready for this? Super excited? Tell me how excited you are for this topic, for this session. So this comes under writing skill, of course. Now you see, under language, there are three things that we have. One is the grammar part, then you have vocabulary, that is, of course, the game of words, the concept of words, and then we have writing skill. So under writing skill, of course, there are various topics, right from letter writing to story writing, article, diary, and letter is one of the most common writing skill topics. Okay, some of you are late. That's okay. I understand. Okay, so Spriya says namaste, namaste, namaste. Perfect. Chalo, perfect, perfect, perfect. So I guess most of you are here. Great. So we'll just begin the topic quickly. We'll talk about how is that we can write a letter, a perfect letter. Okay, this is mostly going to be for CBSE board, and if you are from some other board, it will anyway help you even if you're from some other board. It is just that the format might vary. We'll just consider that point. Okay, chalo. Are we ready to rock the session here? So if you're ready to rock the session, tell me in the chat box with a yo or let's rock. Hi Palak, I'm fine. Let's rock. So where was it? Let's rock. You can either write yo or let's rock. So I'm okay with both. Yo, alright. Chalo, theek hai. So for those who don't know me yet, my name is Dheeraj Gabeja. I am a master teacher of English at Vedantu Learning Platform. I have been teaching English for more than 9 years now, both academic English and communicative English. I've taught and mentored more than 10,000 students, okay, 10,000 plus students, and I'm really happy to be with all of you now so that we can learn something together. And I've trained 1,000 plus people on communication skills of any age group. So besides academic content, I have been training people on communication skills as well. So when I say communication skills, how's that you can speak English fluently, to speak English confidently, to become the best public speaker, you know, how's that you can overcome your stage fear and speaking English like a native speaker. So, in case you guys like watching English movies, you listen to English music. So, we always get fascinated by the way Americans speak or the way British speak. It's like really fascinating. You know, for example, today we are going to learn this amazing topic that is letter writing. All right. So, we are going to learn how that you can write a perfect letter with me. All right. That's how they speak. Just a sample of that. So I have been training people on US and UK accent. Okay, so that is how language becomes fun. That was a little bit about me, and I'm more than happy to welcome all of you to this amazing learning platform of Vedantu, where we learn together, and it's all live, and of course it's online. So we have grade 6 to 12, IIT JEE. So welcome to Vedantu learning platform. So with this Vedantu advantage, what you get is we help you identify your learning gaps. Okay, wherever your problem is in terms of learning, something that some concept or some subject that is kind of a problem for you. So we help you with that especially. There is a lot of guidance provided to you by the expert analysis or through the expert analysis. Who's the expert here? We're talking about all the fantastic teachers of Vedantu are all experts, and we have made sure that we have wonderful teachers across the country. Okay, and we also help you with decision making. That is one of the most important um, activities that you see if you have. So when your decision making is perfect, and it of course helps you to achieve your goals. We help you to make informed decisions about learning goals. Okay, and the technology that we use on Vedantu is we call it Wave platform. Okay, Wave stands for Whiteboard Audio Visual Environment. Yes, it's a wonderful technology that we use where we have live quiz sessions with the students. Okay, we conduct quiz sessions on the topic. Depends on what the topic is, and it's there for almost every session. Okay, except for some doubt solving sessions. And then we have an option to give a feedback. So you always have an option to give a real time feedback to teachers. And the best part is all your doubts will be cleared in the same session. See, this is the most important feature that Vedantu exclusively provides for now. That is the doubt solving thing. Doubt solving through two in-class teacher model. Through in-class teacher model, what I mean is, for example, right now when I'm teaching you, I'm the main master teacher here. There'll be another teacher who will be equally qualified. We call them a class teacher or academic mentor or an assistant teacher. So that particular teacher will also be a part of that session simultaneously in the same session. They will help you with your doubts. It is always best to get your doubts cleared instantly, because if we keep postponing our doubts, probably it doesn't get solved. So your doubts must be solved, must be cleared instantly. That is what we make sure on Vedantu Learning Platform. Okay, and of course when we cover all this, when all these aspects are covered, you cannot uh, we just make sure that you can have deep learning insights about any subject, any topic. Insight, that is knowledge, so deep knowledge about the subject, where we don't study only for marks, but then we study for knowledge. Okay, and once you acquire that great knowledge about whatever you're learning, marks will anyway happen, right? So marks is the primary purpose, of course, but then we also make sure you get deep learning insight. That is deep learning knowledge and clarity about your concepts. Perfect. So before we begin the topic, I've got this riddle for you guys. If you can answer to this, do you know which is the most commonly used letter in English language? Does anybody know? If you can tell me in the chat box, the most commonly used letter in English language. So most of you have answered letter A, E, R. Okay, we've got different answers here. So I'll tell you what it is. It is the letter E. E is the most commonly used letter in the English language because one in eight of all the letters written in English is E. So, example, when I write eight letters, when I'm using eight letters, eight different letters, at least one letter is definitely E among those eight letters. So the ratio is 1:8. That's quite a good ratio. So it is most commonly used, the letter E. It's a vowel letter. So that's why it is most commonly used. Good one. Some riddles are really nice, right? Perfect, perfect. चलो ठीक है. Now we begin the topic. Letter writing. अच्छा मुझे एक बात बताओ. Tell me in the chat box, guys. Nowadays, because we have so many options when it comes to technology, email, WhatsApp, our messaging services, then the chat services, and so many other platforms. What is that you use uh, for instant communication? Okay, let's say if you want to communicate with somebody urgently. So, what is the source you use? Tell me in the chat box. What is the source of communication you prefer? Do you prefer an email? Okay, Roxa says a love letter. Okay, ठीक है, all the best. Yeah. Okay, WhatsApp. Most of you have written WhatsApp. Simran has written letter. Okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. See, nowadays, of course, we have so many options because of the technology, right? From the instant messaging services of so many applications, as you guys know, and of course, the email service, which is quick. But then, even though we have so many options, the importance of letter writing has not gone yet. Yeah, it is not written. Letters are not written as often as we used to when there was no technology, when there was no email service. But even after having great options, number of options in technology, uh, the option of letter writing is still there. Okay, so this has been an very old concept, and we have been writing letters. Human beings have been writing letters since a very long time. Okay, since ages, I would say. And there have been songs in Bollywood on that. There have been pictures made, and then there are series also where people show that they have been writing letters since ages. So letter writing is nothing but exchange of written or printed messages. Of course, when you're writing something, it is obviously written communication happening. So it is nothing but exchange of written communication, written message. And in written communication, both the formal and personal matters are crucial. See, when you're writing something, you can write something formally. Formally, matlab officially, to somebody whom you don't know for formal purposes. It could be to your teacher, to your boss, to a municipal commissioner, to the secretary of the society, to the editor. So these are like formal letters. But it is equally important to, there are people who write letters about personal matters as well. So personal matters, of course, is informal. We also call them friendly letters. That is, you write it to your near and dear ones, like for example, your friends, cousins, parents, your relatives, all of that. So it is really, really necessary to develop the skill for letter writing. See, when we talk about writing a letter, it always comes under this category writing skill. We do not call grammar a skill. We do not call vocabulary a skill. But then when it comes to writing, we use the word skill for it because it is something that we need to develop. You don't have it naturally. Nobody has this writing skill naturally. Once you learn sufficient grammar, you learn vocabulary, you learn phrases, idioms. That means you learn the language well. For example, English language. Um, Even after knowing sufficient language, like proper language, still writing skill is a task because it needs to be developed. When I say it needs to be developed, there are two most important things when it comes to any writing skill topic. Keep this in mind. Two very important things when it comes to the writing skill topic, any writing skill topic. Now, especially here because we're talking about letter writing, two most important things are one is the format. So when you're writing your writing skill topic for your exam, your purpose is to score marks. So when your purpose is to score marks, we have to make sure that we follow the format. You cannot use your own format. Whatever format we have, whatever format the board authorities have given, for example, if it is for CBSE, we'll follow that. Whatever format is there for ICC, you follow that. Whatever format is there for Maharashtra State Board, you follow that. one particular format that is fixed by the education authorities. That is what we will use. You cannot change that. We must not change that when you're writing for your exam. If you're not writing for your exam, if your purpose is not to score marks, you're writing it just for um, real use, in your real life, maybe to talk about something, to complain about something, and it is not for marks, it is not for academics purpose, then you can write it your way. Of course, then the following the format is probably not compulsory. Even then it is required, but then there is some you can say freedom given when it comes to writing still topic not for academics. Here what we are doing is we are learning formal and informal letter for academics, for our marks. So that's, keep that in mind. This is not for general purpose, this is for our exam, so for our marks. Okay, we're going to learn this topic for our academic purpose, not for the general purpose. Okay. So a formal letter is also called official letter, guys, as I told you this. It is a letter written for official reasons. Okay. It is a letter written for official reasons. It depends on what the official reason could be. There are different purposes for which you write a formal letter. It could be to complain about something, so to launch a complaint or to make a complaint, file a complaint, or to request something. That's how a formal letter is written. So remember this, a formal letter is also called official. Official as in, why official? Because it is written for official purposes. It cannot be written for, it is not written for personal purposes. So it's quite official, quite formal. So look at the format that we are following, guys. This is the format that we need to follow. The same format is there for CBSE and state board as well. Okay. Um, so this is the format that we are using, which is the most common format, and it's quite useful, and it is accepted by the board authorities. Okay, like this is a format given by board authorities. So it all begins with this. It all begins with the sender's address. That's the very first thing you do when it's a sender's address. Sender's address, that is the from address, the one who's writing the letter. Then you write the date, then the receiver's address. After the receiver's address is done, the most important part is the subject part. Okay, you mention the subject line because this is the most important highlight of the formal letter. Why? Because the first thing anybody would read is the subject line. Okay, they want to know what the letter is about. The subject line is really important because it talks about what the letter is about. So it is that one line that talks about the main idea or the main theme, the main purpose of that letter. So make sure that subject line is well written when it comes to a formal letter. Okay, and then once the subject line is done, we talk about the salutation. Salutation may, it's like the title given. So it's either the title of a sir or a madam. Don't write both, of course. So if you either write to a sir or madam, respected sir or respected madam is also okay. Then, of course, we start the main body of the letter. When we say the main body, your body of the letter has three paragraphs. Yeah, not four, not five, not two. Stick to three paragraphs strictly, guys. Make sure you do not change the number of paragraphs. Stick to three paragraphs strictly. So, first paragraph is the introduction part. Okay. Second is the main content, the main highlight of the letter, and the conclusion part. That is called, we also call it closure. And there is something called complimentary clause, like you kind of compliment by thanking a person. That's called complimentary clause. Once the main conclusion is done, main conclusion is in the conclusion of your uh, concern of the subject. And then when we end a letter, we end it with a complimentary clause. Thank you, or expecting the response as soon as possible, expecting a response as soon as possible. So that's called complimentary clause. All right. And then you end the letter with this: yours sincerely, faithfully, or truly. You can use anyone. The easiest to use is, of course, truly, yours truly. And then you mention the sender's name. Yeah. We can mention the sender's name or the designation. Designation only if it's required, only if it's mentioned. When I say designation, like what that person is. For example, here we have written the name Raghav, if you can see that. So Raghav's designation, he could be a professor, he could be a secretary, he could be a chairman or whatever. So the designation, only if it is applicable, only if it is required. Okay. So this is the format of the formal letter. Okay. So once the format is discussed, we'll of course discuss one example also. Okay. But then before that, we'll have a quick quiz here right now. Okay. Tell me this. Formal letter is also called what letter? Formal letter is also called friendly, social, official, or none of these. What do you think the answer could be? Formal letter ka. Formal letter is also called official letter. Yes, most of you have voted for the answer C, for the option C. Perfect, perfect. Good job, guys. Wonderful. Formal letter is called official letter. We've discussed that. Okay. So, ठीक है. We'll quickly see one example now. All right. 1 minute. We'll quickly see one example. Give me a minute. So, we're taking this example on the Vedantu website itself, right? So that we understand this better. So all of you can see this example here, yeah. So you can simply type vedantu.com/english/formal letter. We have this one wonderful example given, which is of course written by the experts team of our master teachers. So you just look at the screen here right now. Okay, 1 minute. Yeah. So I'll just quickly turn only the screen on. You will not see me, but then of course I'll speak and we can simply discuss this. Look at the example that we have. This is an example of a formal letter that we are using. Yeah, example of a formal letter. You see, a letter is written to the editor, okay, of a daily newspaper complaining about the power cut that works in a locality every time and it causes a lot of inconvenience for the people of your locality. I hope the view is clear. Let me just check. The view is clear. Yes, the view is completely clear for all of us. The view is clear for all of you. Properly clear, properly visible. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Great. Great. So we'll discuss this. So your question is what? You're writing a letter to the editor of a daily newspaper, and this is a complaint letter complaining about the power cut. That's a usual complaint many people have, complaining about the power cut here. Power cut that is going on in the locality, power cut work that is going on locality, and every time it happens, it causes a lot of inconvenience to people in your locality. So you're writing a complaint letter about that. So look at this here. This is a sample, an example of a formal letter. You begin with the from address. Everything is on the left hand side, just near the margin of your page, not before the margin, it's after the margin. Okay, so do not write in the margin. It is, of course, just next to the margin, slightly near the margin. Okay, so you begin with the from address, which is called the sender's address. It starts with flat number. You see, flat number. You can use the word NO as well, NO, and put a dot after that, flat number 406. Then here we have written Sungleam Society. You can change the name, of course. You can write Royal Society, uh, some XYZ Society, any name that you want. Make sure the name is decent enough. Okay. And then where that society is located, 100 Feet Road, Indira Nagar, and for example, if it is in Bangalore. Okay. You always end the address with a city like this. Always end it with a city. And every city, of course, has a pin code. Like every area has a pin code, and then you mention the pin code of Indiranagar. Okay. In case you know the pin code, you mention that. My suggestion to all of you is कोई भी एक address को ना by heart कर लो. One proper address. For example, if you want to use this, you can just change the city. If I simply change the city to Pune, Mumbai, or any other city if you want, Delhi for that matter, any city. Okay, it depends. If it's given in the question, of course, you use that, or you can, of course, change the city, and you can use any pin code for that matter. If you know the correct pin code, try to use the correct pin code or a 6-digit pin code. If you do not know the correct pin code, simply don't mention the pin code. Okay, do not mention the pin code if you do not know the correct pin code. Okay, so my advice, my suggestion to all the students is एक address को by heart कर लो, any one address. So for example, if you by heart this one, take it from our website, our Vedantu website. So you have this flat number 406 Sungleam Society. Then you mention the uh, road, the name of the road. For example, if it's 100 feet road, the name of the area, what is the area called, Indira Nagar. इसी address को if you simply by heart this one, and you can use it for any exam. And if you want, you can change the city, of course, as required, and change the pin code. Okay, so I have this one from address, and then immediately after that, the way we are writing the date, if you see, this sample was written last year. So if you see, we have written 2019, 10th June 2019. Make sure you use this format only when you're writing a date. Okay, 10th of June 2019. Perfect. And then if required, you can leave a line. Once you have written the date, you can leave a line, but it's not compulsory. Leaving a line after the date is not compulsory. You can simply begin on the next line. It's better that you leave a line if you feel it will look better. So if you leave a line, then you can use the word to. And using this word to, utilizing one line for writing this word to is also not compulsory. Okay, so you can directly start the to address. ये जो to word लिखा हुआ है यहाँ पे, ये compulsory नहीं है. It's optional. You can write it, or even if you don't write, it is understood that after the date you write the to address, but then you leave one line if you're not using to. So to, comma, and then the receiver's address. For example, this is the senior editor. Now, ABC Times. Now, ABC Times, it could be the Hindustan Times, it could be the New York Times, it could be the Mumbai Mirror, depends on which newspaper publication we are writing to. Here we have just written examples, we are just mentioning ABC Times. Now, that publication house is in the newspaper publication, the office of the newspaper publication, let's say it is in MG Road. Okay, and again the same city. Make sure the city is the same because you're complaining about the same city, right? So Bangalore, the pin code may change, of course, because the area is different. So here it is 560038. Here it is 560001. The pin code has changed because the area differs. Of course, the area will change, but the city is the same. Okay. So make sure you're very careful about this. If you're using punctuation, use it throughout the address. So after every line, there is a comma. Okay, look at this here. There's a comma after society. And if you want, you can use a comma in the second line also, but that is not required. It's not compulsory. You can simply put a full stop. That means you have begun the address and you end the address with a full stop. See, there is a full stop used after the pin code because that this full stop indicates this is the end of the address. The address is over. And after the date, you put a full stop. That means we are done with the date. Okay, we're done with the writing date there. Same with the to address, with a comma, full stop. And now immediately after this, you write the salutation. See, only sir or madam. There are many students who write both sir/madam. Please don't do that. Okay, we have to use only one salutation. Either you write to somebody who, the other person could be a male or a female, right? So either you write sir or madam. And if you're writing madam, do not write the short form ma'am. Use the complete spelling MADAM. Okay, madam. You can use the word respected. Using the word respected is also not compulsory because when you call somebody sir or madam, that itself is with respect. So respected sir is not required, but you can use that word. The word respected is okay. Okay. And then the next line you mention the subject line. This is the most important line, guys. Do not miss this. So the subject is what? Power cut at irregular times in a locality, causing us a lot of troubles. So this is one way of writing subject. The best is you can start the subject with what the letter is about. Over here we are complaining, right? So you can begin your subject with complain about. So complaint about power cut. You can begin like this. Complaint about power cut at irregular times in a locality. You can begin your subject line with this. Complaint about. Okay. That is one best way to write subject. So complain about, and then you mention what the topic is. Complain about the power cut at irregular times in a locality, causing us a lot of troubles. And one most important thing, which is not highlighted here, is you underline the subject line. Guys, make sure this line is underlined. So with just one single underline with a pencil. Okay, do not underline the word subject. Just underline what is written in the subject. There is no need. ये subject word को underline मत करना. Do not underline the word subject. Underline this, what we write in the subject. Okay. For example, if I have written exactly this in my exam, you underline this with just one single underline. नो zigzag underline, no decoration, कुछ मेहंदी डिजाइन वगैरह कुछ मत निकालना वहां पे, ठीक है? Yeah, so just one plain simple underline. You, of course, you use your scale for that. Okay, and with a pencil, do it with a pencil, underline with a pencil. Now look at this here. We are talking about 3 paragraphs. So letter has started. So when we begin your letter, the first paragraph is called introduction paragraph. In the first paragraph, introduction paragraph, we do two things. That is, one, you introduce yourself and you expand the subject line. Okay, please remember this. What we write in the first paragraph is you introduce yourself, introduction, and you expand the subject line. See, look at this here. Through the medium of your distinguished and respected newspaper, we are trying to praise their newspaper because we are going to use their newspaper as the medium. So of course, थोड़ी तारीफ कर लो वो newspaper की, ठीक है? So through the medium of your distinguished मतलब something that is different and respected newspaper, I wish to make the authorities of municipality aware of the problems the residents of my locality are facing due to the power cut at irregular times currently happening in an area. See, this is very simple English used, but it is grammatically very clean. Like there are no grammatical errors, of course. So that's how we have to write. No grammatical errors, no spelling errors, proper use of words, proper use of punctuation, comma, full stop, whatever is required. So look at this here. So what you have done is you have kind of introduced yourself. Okay, you have introduced yourself just as a person there, just as a resident. So I wish to make the authorities of municipality aware. This is your introduction, right? You do not have to disclose your name. So this line, I wish to make the authorities of municipality aware, that is you as a resident of that particular area. A resident as a person living there of that particular area. You're trying to make the municipality aware, municipal authorities aware using that newspaper, the newspaper as a medium. So you're requesting the editor, of course, to print it. So in an area. Now, as the summer season has started a few days ago, it is very difficult to manage with these power cut. Okay, if you want, you can use this line in the second paragraph. We can end the first paragraph with this line in an area. Okay, because the first paragraph is simply about introduction and expanding the subject. ये subject line जो अपना है उसको थोड़ा expand करना है. So this is one way you can expand it. I wish to make the authorities aware, or I wish to bring it to the notice of municipal authorities, or I just wish to complain about, or I wish to draw the attention of municipal authorities. These are different ways you can use your language. Make the authorities aware, bring their attention, draw their attention, or bring it to their notice. These are the different ways you can begin. And that's the first paragraph done. First paragraph has to be short. Okay, short and simple. That is, introduction cover hona chahiye usme. You mention a little bit about yourself. Okay, and you mention the main purpose. That is, you expand the subject line. Okay. Now, in the second paragraph, to write the second paragraph really well, I'll give you these keywords. You can use these keywords: cause, effect, remedy. You can frame your second paragraph using these keywords: cause, effect, or remedy. Cause matlab reason. Why is that you're writing a letter? So we mention the reason. And because of that reason, what is happening? So cause, uska effect, because of that cause, what is happening, and a remedy that you can suggest, a solution. See, this is what we are doing. Let's bring this line in the second paragraph. You know, ye wala jo line hai na, it starts from here, as the summer season. Let's bring it to the second paragraph. Let's just assume this is a part of the second paragraph. Okay, so I'll read the second paragraph from here. So we'll write this down. Okay, this line will make it a part of the second paragraph, the beginning of the second paragraph. So as the summer season has started a few days ago, it is very difficult to manage with these power cuts. Okay, you see, this is the beginning. That means you're mentioning the cause. Cause matlab the reason. This is the fourth week since the problem is happening, and now seeing the current weather conditions, like seeing the current weather conditions, this seems to be a big trouble. Like weather conditions, probably it is monsoon as well now, so there's a frequent power cut, and especially because we're complaining about the summertime here. The summertime, of course, without electricity, you feel suffocated. So looking at the weather conditions also, this is becoming a big trouble for us. So you're mentioning the cause, you're mentioning the reason. Okay. Now what is happening because of that? ये तो reason mention हो गया, ठीक है? Cause mention हो गया of writing a letter. The power cut is the reason, and you're writing 2 to 3 sentences about it. Now what is happening because of that reason is the effects. Effects क्या हो रहा है? Our daily routine is totally disturbed by this sort of power cut every time. So your routine is disturbed. Another cause of my concern is that exams are going on, and due to this power cut, it is impossible for our children to study with full concentration. So we have mentioned these two effects. You can mention three effects maximum. Three effects will be good enough, but then two is also okay. The first effect is what? Daily routine getting disturbed, and the children are not able to study because of the power cut. They are not able to study with full concentration because, of course, you may feel, you may feel warm, or you may sweat, or you're just not able to focus, or you may have to use your gadgets, technology, for your devices to study. That is also not happening. तो ये effects आ गया, ठीक है? And the last point would be, in the second paragraph, you can add a solution to it. You can add a remedy to it. What could be the remedy? What could be the solution? The solution could be like, please make sure there is a fixed schedule for load shedding. Please make sure the load shedding happens only twice a week, or maximum uh, twice in 15 days, or something like that. So this is like a suggestion that you can give. We understand that load shedding is required at times, that you may have to power cut sometimes, but then make sure it is done at fixed hours or on fixed days, so that you're already aware of it. So please make sure there is a fixed schedule that is followed for load shedding, for the power cut, which can be maximum twice in 15 days. That is maximum 3 to 4 times a month. Okay, for a maximum of 2 to 3 hours, for a maximum of 2 hours, basically. That much load shedding is still bearable. You can just mention that as a suggestion, and then make sure that timetable is strictly followed, the schedule is strictly followed. So you can add that as a suggestion line. And finally, you conclude. Okay? Conclusion may you see you're closing the letter. Therefore, I would like to draw the attention of I would like to draw the attention of all the concerned authorities, with the help of your newspaper as a medium. You see, we are not writing to the municipal authorities directly. We are writing to the editor of the newspaper. So we are requesting him. I would like to draw the attention of all the authorities, all the concerned authorities, with the help of your newspaper. Whose newspaper? The editor's newspaper, whichever company, whichever newspaper publication it is. I hope, I hope you are now aware of our problems, which we are facing every day, and will be able to help us in drawing their attention and resolving this matter as soon as possible. See how beautifully this is ended. I hope you are expressing your concern now, expressing the emotion of hope. कि अभी तुम उम्मीद करते हो, अभी तुम्हारे पास hope है. I hope you are now aware of our problems, which we are facing every day, every day because of this load shedding, and you will be able to help us. You will be able to help us by how? By drawing their attention. Whose attention? The attention of municipal authorities, and help us resolve this matter as soon as possible. So you can write as soon as possible or at the earliest. Okay, that's it. And this thanking you is a complimentary closure, as we know. So thanking you in advance, or simply mention thanking you and full stop after that. And then you see the subscription is written. This is yours sincerely. Okay, you add YOURS. There is this S missing here. So my suggestion is you write yours. Yours sincerely is not wrong. It's not incorrect, but it's better. It's more appropriate to write yours. YOURS. Yours truly, yours sincerely, or yours faithfully. Okay. Then you mention your signature. You mention your signature and you write your name. And after the name, if there is a designation required, you can write the designation also, only if it is applicable. I hope this is clear now, guys, with this example. Yeah, you can always go to our website and you use the same example, refer to the same example. Tell me how clear this is now in the chat box. I hope this is crystal clear for all of you. So this is how we write a proper formal letter. Letter to a letter to an editor. So most of you have written, it is clear for all of you, for most of you. Perfect, perfect, perfect. That's it. So that was all about the formal letter part. All right. And then, yes, give me a minute. All right. So I'm back. Yeah. I was anyway there. It is just that I turned the camera off. Okay. So I'm back again. We discussed an example of a formal letter. I hope all of you have understood the formal letter thoroughly now. And the next time when you write a formal letter, I'm sure you score maximum marks possible. All right. So, okay, one more fun riddle for all of us. Take me this. Take off my skin. I won't cry, but you will. Okay. If you take off the screen, if you take off the skin of this particular thing, that particular thing won't cry, but then you will cry. What do you think it is? What am I? If you take off my skin, I won't cry, but you will. What do you think this thing is? Anyone? Tell me in the chat box. Okay, let's see. Of course, an onion. All right, if you take the take its skin off, you kind of peel an onion. Taking the skin off of an onion, we cry. You know, onion को तो कुछ नहीं होता है, हम रोते हैं, है ना, आंसू आ जाते हैं. ठीक है, that's how it is. Perfect, perfect, perfect. All right. अभी फाइनली ना थोड़ा इनफॉर्मल लेटर की बात करते हैं. वी आर डन विद फॉर्मल लेटर. विल जस्ट डिस्कस सम इन्फॉर्मेशन अबाउट इनफॉर्मल लेटर. सो इनफॉर्मल लेटर इज नथिंग बट अ फ्रेंडली लेटर. We also call it a social letter. It is written for personal purposes, written to friends or relatives. Okay. You can write it to anyone with whom you have a non-professional relationship. Non-professional as in, for example, your relationship with a municipal commissioner, relationship with a teacher, relationship with a secretary of the society or the editor. That's professional relationship, right? That's called formal relationship. Non-professional, that is just personal. You know, there are emotions involved, near and dear ones. So that's what it is. It's all informal. See, look at the format for informal, guys. Okay? It directly starts with the address, address of the writer, of course, the from address again, then the date. Okay? And there are two things which are not required here, which is there in the formal letter: subject line and the to address. So subject line is also not required, and the to address is also not required, because of course you, when you write it to your near and dear one, we simply mentioned on the envelope, right? So whenever you're writing this, receiver's address is always on the envelope. It's not in the letter. See, it is clearly written. The receiver's address will be on the envelope. It is not a part of the letter. But in formal letter, receiver address was there in the letter. It was a part of the letter. Informal letter, it is not a part of the letter. It is always written on the envelope or envelope, whatever you want to pronounce it. Because it's a French word, so it is pronounced envelope. All right. We can pronounce it envelope. That's okay. Yeah. So the address and the date. Okay. You do not have to use the word dated. The word dated is not required. You simply mention the date. Then this is called salutation. Okay. So again, you can use the word dear here. You cannot use the word dear for municipal commissioner or for the editor. You cannot say dear sir or dear madam. The word dear has emotions involved, right? So you use the word dear for your near and dear ones, people whom you're comfortable with. So you're writing it to your friend, for example. So it could be dear Pooja, dear Rahul. You mention the name of that person. That person could be your friend, could be your cousin, your relative. So you can always mention the person's name. Okay. And then you start the body of the letter. So body of the letter में तीन paragraph है. First is the introduction part, of course. The first paragraph contains a short description of the letter. Let's say if you want to write a letter of advice, advising your younger brother or sister not to eat junk food. Kind of we get into this philosophy mode sometimes. If you are an elder brother or elder sister, you advise your younger brother or younger sister, cousin brother or cousin sister, that you do not eat junk food, eat healthy food, stay healthy and all that. Okay, so we probably talk about that. Let's say if you want to talk about that, in the first paragraph you give a short description. Short description as in something like this. Recently, for example, you begin the letter with, I hope you're doing well. I hope you are in the pink of your health. I hope your health is fantastic. You give it a beginning like this. You begin your letter like this. And then you come to the topic. You directly begin the topic. So you do not begin the topic directly. You begin it indirectly, something like, I recently read an article about fitness in some newspaper or in some magazine, and you came to my mind. Or recently, I have been seeing that many people are falling sick, or many people who kind of have a bad health these days because of this unhealthy eating habits. And that is how you came to my mind. You begin your paragraph like this. Then second paragraph is a long description. Okay. So main content is the second paragraph. Long description may you mention the effects of eating healthy, the advantages of eating healthy, and you kind of motivate your younger brother or sister if he or she eats a lot of junk food, a lot of unhealthy eating habits. वैसे तो normally सबके थोड़े बहुत होते ही है, but then when you're writing this advice letter for your younger brother or sister, make sure this is uh, it will anyway be a long description. So long description में क्या होगा? You first begin by talking about how junk food is harmful, ठीक है? And then you talk about how is that if you replace your diet with healthy food, replace the junk food with healthy food, your body becomes better, your mind works better, you become better as a person, you feel better about yourself, you stay healthy, and towards the end, you talk about the importance of health, of course. You can use proverbs like health is wealth. That's the most important thing in our life. Only if health is there, everything else matters. So it's not the wealth that is important. Before wealth, it is health that is important. Because of course, only if you have a good health, you can probably uh, set your goals of having some wealth. Or if you already have some wealth, you can probably enjoy that. Only if you have a good health. And then finally, you conclude the letter. You end the letter. So third paragraph is a conclusion. You can simply mention, I hope you will follow whatever I have just advised. Please take care of your health, take care of your parents, and stay safe and healthy. You can end your letter like this. You can add some emotions there. You can express some emotions and feelings in informal letter, because after all, you're writing it to your brother or sister. Personal relation is what we have. And finally, you end the letter with a subscription. Subscription is something like this: yours lovingly, and then you mention your name. So yours lovingly, for example, Dheeraj, Rahul, Pooja, whatever your name is, and if the name is already given in the question, make sure you use that name. The subscription remains the same. So yours lovingly is the subscription that we use for informal letter. And remember, uh, we are not supposed to draw an envelope for exam, of course, but then in case you are asked to, in case if it will be needed, if it in case we get an update in future that we may have to use an envelope, or we may have to draw an envelope, so we will use the receiver's address. We will write the receiver's address on the envelope in case of informal letter. But in case of formal letter, of course, it is a part of the letter. Okay. I hope all of us are clear with formal and informal letter now. Chalo, try to solve this. So receiver's address will be on the envelope in which letter? We just discussed this. रिसीवर एड्रेस को हम एनवलप पे लिखेंगे कौन से लेटर में? प्लीज सिलेक्ट द ऑप्शन. Will it be informal, diary, formal, or none of these? What do you think the option is? Oh, most of you have voted for selected the answer A. In informal letter? Perfect, perfect. Good job, guys. So informal letter is the correct answer. The receiver address is or the envelope. All right, the final last riddle is, what can travel around the world while staying in a corner? Do you know this? There is something that can go around the world, like all over the world, by staying in a corner. Like, how is it possible? You're in a corner and you can still go around the world, travel around the world. You know what that thing is? That is a stamp. Stamp is, of course, there. somewhere on the corner, but it can go around the world wherever you want to send the letter. So stamp is something that is there at the top, at the corner. Okay, so that's it. We are done with the session. I hope all of you are thorough with formal and informal letter now. The next time you want to attempt a formal informal letter, I'm sure most of you, all of you will score maximum marks possible. Okay. I hope all of you enjoyed learning the topic. You were learning with Dheeraj Gabeja, Master Teacher of English at this Vedantu platform. I'll quickly give you some more information about what we do on the Wave platform. I would first of all request all of you to go and download the Vedantu app right now. If you haven't downloaded it yet, go and download it right now. Attend a free live class, which we call master class. Why do we call it master class? Because all these free live classes are conducted by the best and the master teachers of Vedantu. We use this word master class. So attend a free live class, download the app. If you are an Android user, download it from Play Store. If you're an iPhone user, go and download it from App Store. We have both the versions available. So when you attend the master class, you get all these benefits. You get all these features basically, not benefits. The features are you get a chat box, and of course there is a dedicated question and answer panel, which for which using which you can get your doubts clear instantly with the academic mentor. So in the same session there will be two people. There will be more than two also. The main master teacher who will teach the topic, and there will be academic mentors. Academic mentors could be one, or at times there are more than one as well. Depends on the topic, depends on the session. And you get this option to clear your doubts. You get a question answer panel. Just beside the chat option, you get a dedicated question answer panel, which is the most important feature of our Way platform for the doubt solving. So you get your doubts cleared instantaneously, like instantly, immediately. It's not postponed. Okay. And there is a live quiz that happens, live quiz with the fastest fingers list. We had 2 to 3 quiz questions in this topic because it was writing skill topic, so we could not have many quiz questions. Otherwise, I'm sure you know what is that quiz I'm talking about. So live quiz happens. There is a timer that is set, and depends on how fast you answer the quiz questions, your name is highlighted in the list. We called it the fastest fingers list, like how fast and how soon you answer those questions, your name is always there on the list. And there is something called leaderboard. Leaderboard is a scoreboard, so always we make sure there is this good healthy competition, good nice positive competition happens, and depends on uh, the points you score, the points you earn, and your overall class rank. So your overall performance of the session is highlighted on the leaderboard. And these are the courses we offer at Vedantu. Complete syllabus of IIT JEE. Okay, IIT JEE, both mains and advanced. Wow. Complete portion of NEET preparations, NEET medical preparations. We have all the grades from grade 1 to 12 for both CBSE and ICSE. Okay, there are micro courses as well available. So we have CBSE, ICSE, and State Board as well. There are micro courses available on the most challenging topics of all subjects. And not only that, additionally, Vedantu also helps us with the preparation for our board exams, for our competitive exams, and the Olympiad based exams as well. What more would we want on a wonderful learning platform like this? I wish there was something like Vedantu when I was a student. When I was a school student or at least a college student. I wish we had technology and this wonderful platform like Vedantu, because there is everything available on Vedantu. Yeah. So make sure you get all the benefits, make the most out of Vedantu free learning platform. Okay, all these live classes are absolutely free. These master classes are absolutely free for you guys, so that your education is not affected, your learning is not affected during these challenging times. Go and download the Vedantu app right now. Okay, I hope all of you love the session. Please leave your valuable feedback if you get that option. And thank you so much for watching this video. It is amazing being with all of you. Yeah. So you were learning the tips for formal letter and informal letter academics with Dheeraj Gabeja, Master Teacher of English at Vedantu. And that's it. I'm signing off for now. And make sure that you download the app. All right, the Vedantu app. Bye bye. Take care.